Even the wizard couldn't save this one. As you could tell, I clearly didn't like this movie. I went in with absolutely no expectations, just like I did with Ant-Man. And I was satisfied with Ant-Man, and when I watched this, I was more disappointed than I could be. Because maybe in the back of my head, I had a little bit of hope that this would be fun. On the other hand, it was not. The biggest thing you'll know about this movie, or I feel like we'll tell you right now, if you want to watch this movie right now, is it has a whole ad in the movie. It's not a joke. If there was a certain scene in this movie, towards the end, I'll say, if you cut it out and you put it on TV, somebody will think it's an ad. That's bad. I get they were trying to go for the angle that, oh yeah, there's a kid's movie. Well, Shazam's supposed to be like a kid, so there's going to be a little bit of childish humor. But I don't think it worked. I saw people giggling in certain scenes, and no. Let's get straight to it. To the story. We start off, it's very simplistic. Billy basically wants to stay with his family. His family's kind of separating a little. There's stuff going on, so it's like, okay, we're gonna go through the movie where Billy's trying to find a way to keep the family together. Even though it's obviously supposed to be something with Billy feeling like, you know, he doesn't want to lose his family again because of his past. Through the movie, you see the different characters. You see the Shazam characters, you know, you see his family, you see the interaction. You see this new villain come up. She's attacking. They don't know why. It has some connections to the wizard. And basically that's how the story unravels. There's really nothing more I can say where I don't spoil it. But honestly, if you've seen the trailers, you've seen the whole movie, because apparently all the trailers show everything. And if you thought some of this trailers had everything, or think maybe it was just not hiding everything, there's still some stuff to see, fun stuff to see, I'm sorry, you're wrong. I looked at all the trailers and I was like, why would they show this? They literally showed you the whole movie. The stuff you didn't see in the trailers is not any better. It's as bad as it gets. The acting of the movie, it does, I'm like, maybe it's because of the story itself. I didn't care. I don't think they had to actually even like emote too much for this movie. I forget the character's name, Billy's brother. They try to shine a light on him and his acting skills. He can act, but when the story is this bad, what are you gonna get out of it? There's not even one scene in this movie where I was like, oh no, it's supposed to be a sad scene. There were scenes where I got angry, where I was like, I can see the emotion you want to go for, but it didn't go for that. So acting, it's basic, nothing special. We all knew nobody was going to win an Oscar for this one. Let's go to visuals. I actually like some of the visuals. I know some people are hating. I know some people don't like some of the stuff, but I think it was fun. It was normal. Nothing where I was like, maybe because the movie was bad generally, I didn't care. I was just like, oh, it looks pretty cool. Some of the monsters in the movie look pretty cool. Maybe, yeah, I guess they could have put more money into it, but why would you when you know this whole thing's going to be rebooted? And I feel like when you watch this movie, you think that. You know this movie's going, so there's no consequences. Towards the end, I felt like they could have fixed that, and I was like, oh, are they actually gonna go for that? And I'm like, I was lying to myself, cause I was like, oh, is this gonna like really surprise me? And then no, it didn't. The connections to the DC universe for this movie are not there. You could tell this was pre-Superman, so it's not a spoiler. You're not gonna hear Superman's name in this movie. You could tell everything or anything that you want to hear. You want to hear Henry Cavill Superman. You want to hear just a mention of Superman in this movie. You're not going to get it because you could tell this was filmed before when they were hating on Henry Cavill. You know, the GOAT Superman. But what can you do? Am I happy that they're going to be gone and there's not going to be another Shazam? Yeah, this was a pretty bad movie. Do I care that Zachary Levi is gone? He's great, but I'll be honest, it hurt me more when I saw Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill leave. So this project being scrapped is like, oh no. I feel like the audience was right about this movie before they even watched it. They all knew. And I came to the movie theaters and it only had, I think, like 10 people on premiere day. Premiere day, 10 people for a big movie like this. That's sad. That's pathetic. And I hope DC knows what it's doing. I feel like they just threw this out because they're like, we made it, even though they were like, Batgirl He was shout, but what can you do? I can't go into more of a detail about it without going into spoilers, because I really don't want to ruin anything for you. And if you want to ruin something for yourself, you probably did through the trailers. But I'm still not going to be that guy that told you a spoiler or told you something about this movie you didn't know. If you're going to go in for it blind, I'm interested. Tell me what you thought, because maybe it was just me. There were people laughing during certain scenes. I was like, this is not it. This is kind of cringy. Maybe it was because I was maybe having a little bit of a headache. But I think I literally started watching something else on the train ride home. And I enjoyed it. I didn't care. But watching this, on the other hand, I was like, what can I say? So overall, I was honestly really trying to give this movie the benefit of the doubt. I really was. So before I review this, don't think I'm going a bit too hard because I want to go hard on this movie. I want to hate DC. No, I enjoy the DC characters. I'm truly sad about what's happening to them. I wanted Henry Cavill back. I don't know if I actually want the Snyderverse back at this point. Only reason I would want it back is to see Henry Cavill as Superman. If you told me they would bring back Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck as Superman and Batman in this new James Gunn franchise, I would not care if the Snyderverse is gone, because some of the Snyderverse rumors are trash. Maybe you heard them or not. I'll mention them in the spoiler review because I don't want to take up too much of your time, where I can talk to you guys more honestly about this movie in the spoiler review. So I'm going to review this movie a 6 out of 10. I know that may not sound too bad. Trust me, I was leaning towards a 5. Only reason I'm giving this the benefit of the doubt is because when I watched it, I saw people around me laughing to certain jokes that didn't click with me. And there were certain scenes where I was like, I put myself out of it and I was like, oh, this is a nice scene. It's not a scene I would ever watch again or care to ever look up again. But yeah, it's a nice scene in a certain film. I like to see Zachary Levi, but still. So overall, I'm going to stick with my 6 out of 10. Let's talk about it in our spoiler review. I want you guys to comment. That one guy that's following me, I truly appreciate it, my man. Or woman, whoever it is, I appreciate it, okay? So, I'll see you in the spoiler review. Welcome to the spoiler review. If you sticked it out, I truly appreciate it. And now we can talk about how bad this movie really was. Yeah, I was honestly debating a 5 out of 10 because a lot of the Skittles ad. Are you serious? A whole Skittles ad? And I'm like, okay, you can tell me if I'm wrong for hating on it too much. I did see people laughing when that happened, but inside my head, I was like, this is not supposed to be a kid's movie. I know Shazam is a character that's a child that becomes big, and the smaller girls is small at heart, but no, it would have been funnier or like more dramatic if to see like, yeah, you don't want to see the girl's dreams crushed, but like you couldn't have done something better where it would have been more realistic and at the same time made me laugh. The humor in this movie was bad. Maybe you got a few chuckles out of me for certain scenes. And when I mean chuckles, maybe 1 or 2. Don't think I did a lot of laughing in this movie. Throughout the movie, I was watching it and I was like, why is this so long? I came into the movie thinking, I think I watched it around a 10 o'clock show. And I was like, okay, I want to watch this movie. I hope it's good. It's probably like an hour and a half. The first 30 minutes, I kid you not, 30 minutes. And I was like, let me check the runtime of this movie while I'm watching it, because I'm like, this is kind of long. I'm like, is this really almost done? And then I check it, it's 2 hours and 10 minutes. Damn. Like, damn. What can I say? Let's start off with the beginning, okay? Billy's complaining about his family issues. It's like, okay, cool, that's fine. I know they were going to build off of it, even though they don't really mention it. They bring it together at the end where he hugs his surrogate mother, and it's like, yay. But it made no sense. There was no actual plot point with his mother or his family throughout the movie where he even talks to her. Where this movie would have made sense for them to connect at the end and him be like, I accept you now. You're going to throw me out. They really didn't have that dynamic at all. So the beginning of the movie, any setup, trash. Should have been edited better, trash. Okay? Let's start going further. You have the characters, the older sister, Mary. You see her character, she's trying to go to college apparently, and that's basically what you get. Literally one line, she's mentioning it, she's trying to go out, she's trying to help out the family. They mention the house being bought out as if it's a big reveal. Like I said, any of the family actual drama that they hint at throughout this movie or even mention, all could have been edited out. This movie, if it was shorter, would have been much better because I was watching it and it did not end. That's a problem. Okay? If I'm watching a superhero movie, like people were telling me Ant-Man was bad. If you watch this and tell me this is better than Ant-Man, there's something wrong. I was watching Ant-Man and I did not think it was too long. Maybe it could have been edited a little bit more. This movie should have been an hour and 30 minutes. Also, Billy's about to turn 18, but he's stupid as fudge. Are you kidding me? Man is turning 18 and they really made him fully childlike. Not 10-year-old Billy Batson. 18-year-old Billy Batson is acting like a 10-year-old. They say he's turning 18 soon. And the things he's doing is just dumb. It doesn't make sense. Anything that was done in the first movie was already like, okay, now he has new issues that they don't show any problems for. So any of the character issues in this movie are not existent. All the story is trash. Fighting scenes are okay. The dragon, I'll be honest, was cool. Can we also point out the fact that I forget Anne is 600 years old, but she's trying to date a 17-year-old? Because it's a girl doing it, it's not a problem. But since the guy did it, are you serious? And you might tell me, oh no, it doesn't matter, it's love. No, that was bad. Let's be real, that was bad. If it was the roles were reversed, that would have been cringe. Just because she looks like she's 17 doesn't mean she is 17. She's 600 or 6,000 and she's trying to date a 17-year-old. What is that about? They could have literally said, no, there's honestly no way of justifying that. People were laughing at, ha ha ha, and then they made the joke like, oh yeah, all my boys like older women, ha ha ha. But you know, if it was a girl doing it to a guy doing it to a girl, it'd be problematic, sure. I don't know. I won't hate on that too much because it's a superhero movie. The comedy, they try to be funny with it. It didn't work. That's all I'll say. But I'm just going to point that out. And in the movies, it is what it is. Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman. You see her at the end for the last 2 minutes. Haha. I honestly was hoping he died. Like, I was hoping he died at the end of the movie. Because there was no consequences. People died in this movie. The teacher died. And it was like, nobody cares. People were killed by those monsters. Nobody cares. No consequences. No nothing. Man of Steel happened. People hated on it. Oh, look, the whole destruction. But this movie's doing it. And it's supposed to be in a jokey manner. It was bad, man. It was bad. Like I said, I wish he died at the end of this movie. Because for that point, it would have been like, oh, look, they actually had consequence at this movie. It was so stupid throughout. Like, if he had died at the movie, I would have given this movie a 7 right off. It would have gotten an extra point. Because then I would have been like, this is actually going to connect. They're going to do Flashpoint. So, you know, this is why they're doing it. They're trying to show that things need to be changed. The whole universe is going to be changed. But no, he got up and survived. And Gal Gadot comes in as Wonder Woman. And I'll admit, people were cheering when she showed up. And her theme song, I love it. It's great. So when you do see her, you're like, oh, cool. But then you think about it and you're like, she's coming to a kid's funeral. Smiling. Not knowing she's going to bring him back to life. She's smiling, coming up to them. Haha, you guys saved the day. Good job. I can do this for you. I can give you magic. And she's smiling. There's literally a dead kid's body in front of you. Everybody at the funeral says, fudge Billy, Wonder Woman is here. No, nobody's like, let's be real. If you're at a funeral for somebody you care for, you can bring me the biggest person. You can bring me anybody that I care for the most. Like any celebrity. I won't care at that moment. I will be sad. I'll be like, oh, thank you for coming. It's great you're here. But in that moment, I'll still be sad. She was smiling coming up. I'm like, what is going on? Like, she did not know she was going to bring him back. It was bad. I don't want to hate on this movie as much because now the more I think about it, the bigger problems are. And the Skittles ad, god damn, that was bad. People were laughing. I don't know if I said it before. Maybe I'm forgetting because that's how bad this movie is. Those things popped out. The trailer showed everything. The dragon, I personally thought he looked cool. They could have done more with that. The sister dying. The sister's relationship with the older one, white hair one. She just died because, you know, technically you could have honestly just had all of them survive, and technically if Shazam had just given him the powers, everything would have worked out. She would have gone to save her world. Shazam and all the Shazam kids maybe won't have their powers, but they did the right thing. Like I said, the more you think about it, the worse it gets. I'm sticking with my 6 out of 10. I really wanted to give it a 5. Tell me if I should have. I appreciate it to that one person watching. I love you, whoever you are. Thank you guys. Like, follow, subscribe. And if you want to see me review more things, please do. And we're going to be actually doing more things. Give us ideas. I'm trying to do more fun stuff. I'd love it. I know Ramadan will be coming up soon, so maybe I'll be a little bit more off, but I'm already am. So thank you guys for everything. Have a great day.
No.